Facing 40, round 3. Let's go. So glad you guys have joined me once again. Today's topic in Facing 40, and just as a precursor for those of you that are joining us today for the first time, Facing 40 is a series that I started on my channel to document my journey moving towards the big O age of 40, which I will be turning 40 in October. Definitely will be doing some interactive and virtual things for everyone to partake in leading up to that time. So what I want to talk about today is a very poignant, perspective-driven, hot button topic as well. We're going to talk about shifting gears in the middle of your life. What do I mean when I'm talking about switching gears? I'm talking about completely pivoting. Hard pivot, hard turn. This is for my girlies that are on their way to 40, approaching 40 quickly, maybe have already turned 40. And then, of course, even my girlies that are 40 and beyond. For example, this can be for somebody who was a nurse, right? Coming out of college, they went to nursing school, they became a nurse and was a practicing nurse for however many years. And maybe when they turn 35, they have a wake up light bulb moment and they say, you know what? I really want to write books. I really want to be an author, somebody that has always written in high school. They have tons of unfinished scripts or unfinished educational material or unfinished kids' books, romance novels, child, the heated ones, it doesn't matter. It could be anything like that. And now this nurse wants to embark on a totally different path. She doesn't know how she's going to do it. She hasn't really thought clearly as to what, her steps are going to be to get there, but it's something that she feels in her heart. And a lot of times what happens with us is we don't want to take the leap because we feel like it's too late. We feel like, okay, I've already gone, this far down in my life. I'm already towards the middle of my life. It's a little bit too late to do that turn and that pivot. I want to be responsible. Let me just stay where I'm at. Girl, for those that have not felt this cosmic shift of energy lately, okay, we are in the age of Aquarius. Out with the old, in with the new. That is the time. That is the mantra. That is the energy. So all those old instructions of you have to stay at a job for 50 and 60 years. And of course, that isn't in a means or as a way of disrespecting our elders or the baby boomers or those that came before us that did live that life. And I think that it's great that they've been able to sustain, especially considering that a lot of the pension plans that were attached to companies that you worked for many, many years had been absolved. And a lot of elders were having to survive or are having to survive off of their Social Security alone, which is not enough. For those of you that don't really understand how that works, there's not a super big pool or reserve of funds set aside for our elders when they reach a certain age. So a lot of them are barely making it. Whatever they've had to do to survive up until this point is commendable, and I would never crap on that, ever, ever, ever. So I'm not being disrespectful to my elders. Never. I wasn't raised like that. However, we're not going to be in the same boat of chasing or on that hamster wheel trying to get that American dream in the way that they said that we had to get it. No, Age of Aquarius says, I'm going to be innovative. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to push the boundaries of what is, humanly possible through technology. And I'm going to do something completely different and, away from the sheep, so to speak. In that, and the reason why I preface or reference that is because you can pivot. You can switch directions. You can change and do something totally different. I don't care if you're 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 50, 56. Does not matter. You can pivot. I just went to a college graduation over the weekend, and the graduation speaker told all of the different age groups to stand up at different times. So, of course, he went through 20s, 30s, 40s. He even went up to 70s. There was a woman that was in her 70s that was receiving her bachelor's degree over the weekend, and I did a standing ovation for her because I was so inspired by that, just the tenacity to push yourself to do something that is something that they said that you can't do or you're too old to do. It was so amazing to witness that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in this conversation today. Think about what it is that you really want. What I do think that getting to the age of 40 provides you is a real-time measurement and opportunity to reset and to kind of take account for everything that's happened in your life to figure out, one, am I happy? 2, am I fulfilled? 3, am I able to really serve in the capacity that I feel that I am called to serve? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. And if you are in a realm of employment or family life, sometimes you want to take a switch and you want to, travel the world and you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom anymore. You have to pivot and figure out how you can do that. Asking these questions is going to allow you to be able to be more perceptive internally and really see, okay, what do I really want? If I didn't have any fear of it not happening, if I didn't have any responsibilities tying me down to not being able to achieve or do this thing, what would I want to do? Wildest dreams, what would I want to do? And once you discover what that is, I would encourage you to believe in yourself enough. Believe that you have the wherewithal to survive. You've survived all the way up until this point, which is no easy feat in the world that we live in today. Allow that to be your encouragement and inspiration to follow through and figure out what steps you need to take to achieve that. Everybody's walk is going to be different. Everybody's path is going to be different because we all live different lives. So whatever it is that you need to do specific to your situation, carve out a game plan in order to be able to make that happen and stop putting limitations and blocks on yourself. Baby, I went from being a reality star to doing real estate, to doing commercial property management, to being a singer, to, I've gone and bounced around to all kind of things. I've been a podcast host. It is not too late to pivot. It is not too late to switch the flow up, to get into what serves you in this specific season, and then change again, and then change again. Stop letting people's idea and box that they try to put you in dictate how you're living your life and how you're moving, because we only have one. And I know these things are cliches. We hear this all of the time, but it is 100% facts. We don't know if we get a do-over. And even if we do, it may not be in this incarnation and this body and this vessel and with this mind and with this upbringing and with these circumstances and all of that. It may be totally different. So with what we have and with what we've cultivated so far, I feel it to be our human responsibility to go after what it is that we want. And lastly, I just want to interject, it may be time to pivot with your circle as well, okay? I know people brag a lot about their cutoff game. Oh, my cutoff game strong. That's a whole nother video because a lot of that is just misplaced stuff that I'm not going to even get into right this second. However, there is something to be said about curating the type of environment that you feel is going to be most conducive for achieving what it is that you want in your life. And if you have naysayers, if you have negative Nancy's, if you have people that are always downtrodden, if you have people that are not focused on achieving their own set of goals or ambitions or things outside of their current realm of reality, that is going to deter you from achieving and going after your own. Believe me, okay? That energetic force will pull you down, and you need to be aware of that. If it's a relationship, family, friends, co-workers, whatever, you must be very selfish with who is and who has access to your energy and the ability to influence your energy, because sometimes we get arrogant too and feel like, well, that's them, that's not my life. No, baby, energy is very contagious. That's like being arrogant about somebody that has the flu and you feel like because you've taken all your antibodies and your vitamins and all of your things, you have no susceptibility to even being a little bit sick. Even if it doesn't knock you down and you laid out in a bed for 2 weeks, you might have a couple sniffles. You might have a cough now. You might be running a little fever where you don't feel your best. So you don't want to be impeded upon in any way from anybody. I don't care who it is. Clear space, make room, and curate the type of environment and the people in that environment that are going to be most conducive to your success with where it is that you want to go in this new season. Okay, y'all, that's it for this episode. Y'all like that? That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me again, Facing 40. I am loving this series. I haven't done any other content as of yet. I did say in the first Facing 40 video or teaser that I would be coming back with some Baby Mama Chronicles topics, subjects, and videos, which I do plan on doing. We also have some other exciting things coming to the YouTube channel of Fallon Favors as well that I am, of course, excited about and can't wait for you all to join me in with that as well. So like, subscribe, please share the knowledge, please share the wisdom, please send it to somebody that you love, and let's network and continue to grow this community organically and authentically, okay? I will see y'all next time. Peace.